Caliph, January this year, became mature enough at the age of prophethood and maturity. So we have to behave like mature people. Mature people lead. Mature people think. Mature people create direction. Mature people guide. Mature people educate others. Mature people share. Mature people actually learn from the history and from every and anyone. The more mature you are, the more you bow your back to knowledge, to experience, to community. This is maturity. And this is how, at the age of 40 years, we should behave like mature people, not like children. Because we are not children anymore. We love children, but we are mature people. The journey started with no resources, with no vision, with no strategy, nothing. Whoever put you off because they have no resources, tell him or her, get lost. I have no time for you. I create resources. I'm a very resourceful individual as a human being. That's why Allah made me custodian of the universe. I'm a very resourceful individual because I'm a believer. I'm a very resourceful individual because I'm a worker. Because I'm a servant. Never ever think that you are a master. Always we are servants. And the people we serve, they allow us to serve them. If they don't allow us to serve them, we get nowhere. It means we are nothing. The acceptance of the community gives you the leadership. Leadership is not something you inherit from your parents. You inherit from your jama'ah. It's not an appointment. No. Leadership is not appointment. It's the quality, delivery of the service to the community who loves you. When you go to Somalia or Sudan or South Sudan, if the community loves you, they will let you to lead. Don't take the leadership, philosophy of thinking, or somebody else who has got different culture, different philosophy. We might learn from them, but don't observe everything being said. You have to make it yourself, or look to the authenticity of the teacher of humanity who taught you, Sister Sidra, how to think, to write, and to behave. His name is Muhammad, because he is still Muhammad. His name is Ahmad, because he is still Ahmad. His name is Mahmud, because he is still Mahmud, on earth and in heaven. The leadership should be taken from the one that the humanity seek to follow his leadership. But anybody else can claim to be a leader and become the leader. At the age of 40, we have to be followed. We have to create the flow, not to follow others' flow. Not to follow the flow of others. Keep paving the way, creating the flow, guiding people, being with people. Technology can isolate us from community. Definitely. Well, don't detach yourself by saying, I work from home. Waste of time. No. I work from the office to learn from Shihab, from Sister Naira, from Brother Emir. And by the way, none of us is knowledgeable. We learn the knowledge from anyone and everyone, anywhere, You know why? Because they have different knowledge. You go to Africa, more knowledgeable than you, because they have different experience. Not because they don't speak English and they speak the language of the technology, but we're better than them. No way. No way. We learn, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep listening to the people who are here to see the journey, which subhanallah started with no planning, subhanallah carried on with planning, but now if you are in an organization like this, you have to value the value of the organization and how to lead it. Sometimes your father or your mother or your sister give you a Rolls Royce. Can you give a Rolls Royce or Bentley to a child at the age of 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 to drive? That's what we are doing. With the Ummah, our knowledge is the knowledge of the 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 years old. But the wealth and the heritage of the Ummah is for the people who are mature, who know how can they change society, how can they create future, how can they apply all what you said. You know all this? Why? Because all those people in the good old days used to have something which I will say to you and you tell me what. They used to have encyclopedic brains. You know what do I mean by encyclopedic brains? Canadian who come from Ontario or Ontario or Ontario or Alitario. You know Alitario is the brother of Ontario. What do I mean by encyclopedic brain?
What?
A Canadian. Go on. They said who said what? Go on.
Oh.
What do I mean?
Well, that's me.
No, I'm asking you. You don't answer a question with a question, sir. I'm not joking. It's very serious. I'm not going to laugh. What do you mean by a man or a woman having encyclopedic brain? Yes, Canadian. Challenge to the technology. Challenge the AI or ChatGPT. Yes, sir. Somebody raise his hand. Stand up, please. Raise your voice.
They used to, like you were saying today, they were very cultured and they have like knowledge about many different topics in many different areas, like encyclopedia.
That's right. How can you create him or her? The process is not to describe the destination. The process is to make him and her. How can we create the encyclopedic man and woman? There's a challenge. Rise, please. Rise, please. Raise your voice. No, raise your voice. Don't put your hand in your waist. Serious. No giggling. Don't giggle here. Yes? I'm serious with you.
Someone who loves learning, so they're going to learn about so many different parts. So if you're majoring in business, you go and learn about math, you still learn about engineering. You learn about so many different parts that it's not just, this is my spot, and if you decide something is your field, then you go in depth and become a professor in it. You know so much about it that you become the encyclopedia for business, you become the encyclopedia for engineering. If anybody's going to come and ask you any question, you know it all because you have become a professor in it.
Thank you. You know what? You got it, but I have something else. It's your connection with Allah, who will enable your brain to find the way to let you get out your intellect from the back of your mind. As I said, Allah made us very resourceful. Very resourceful. The more we dig deep in ourselves, the more we find talents, the more we relax and depend on AI and BI and CI, the more we become dwarf. This land is for us to live on it, to learn from it, to let us to rise to the height of the skies. Once you are standing on the skies, you can see the universe. Never say sky is your limit. Never say this is the meaning of the quality of the individual that Allah make him or her to discover the universe. Sky is not your limit. Sky is our beginning. We've been born and created from the mud, from the earth, to rise to the sky to see the universe. I'm not talking rhetoric. This is what I learned from the Bosnian, from the Sudanese, from the Bengali, from the Yemeni, from Pakistani. They were my teachers, not the professors in the universities. No. The community was and is the teacher. I'm sorry that I did not talk too much about Islamic relief, because most importantly is the word Iqra. بسم ربك الذي خلق. With the name of your Lord, direction to the oneness of God. Not only that, Brother Shahab, خلق الإنسان من علق. You know what? How on earth that Muhammad ﷺ understand that the creation of man is from this piece of cloth in the womb of the woman? Alaq, blood, leech. This is scientific knowledge taught to Muhammad at the very beginning. Knowledge is not what you see only. The sun is rising, the moon is shining. No, it's the depth of the womb of the woman, the creation of God is there. علم الإنسان بالقلم, isn't it? With all the knowledge. You know, the first creation that Allah created was the qalam, isn't it? Qalam, which is the pen. And let the qalam to write. Any qalam? Throw it to me. You know, Allah told the pen, it was not blue, huh?
That was it, yeah.
The pen right. He wrote everything in life for all of us. And kept in كتاب الايه؟ اللوح المحفوظ. The preserved tablets. But qalam for us nowadays is research, write, archive, classify, which we don't use it. It is the meaning of the first 5 verses in the Quran to somebody who could not be able to read and write is that learn, get educated, make research, and look at the depth of the knowledge of the creation of man, which is alaq. When you have the baby, you have this piece of cloth. Nobody can see it. And this is the magnificence of the book that we don't read, we don't understand, we don't follow. And this is the challenge, is how to have this book directing and driving every living cell in our body. So the cells will love you. The skin, your skin will love you. You know why it will love you, sister? What's your name? Sister Khadija, Mother Khadija? Hey, Mother Khadija, by the way, you established the 7 principles of social work. I'm not going to talk about it because he will kick me out. You know, when your husband came to you, shocked after Jibreel came to him, you hugged him? Say yes. It's Muhammad. Darling. Take social support. Then you put the 7 principles in the hadith. We don't teach the 7 principles as Khadija's principle. But we get the professors from America, from England, I say, this is not referring to the value of the authenticity of the knowledge, not our history. I need to stop because I can see the eyes of brother Tariq becoming red. Becoming red. It was white, then became green, then became blue, then became black, then became red.
We always happy to listen to you.
Oh, خلاص, okay, carry on. So to conclude, please, Allah give us treasure in the language and in the book and in the teacher. Don't take your pride from something outside Islam. نحن قوم عزنا الله بالإسلام ونبتغى العزة بغير ما عزه الله أذله الله. This is a statement of Umar. We are people of being made proud and honored by Islam, and whoever seek honor and pride from something out Islam, Allah will humiliate him. جزاكم الله خير. No clapping.
بارك الله فيكم.
جزاك الله
شكرا
خير.
جزيلا.
No clapping.
خيرا.